When a narcissist exits your life, it often feels as though the ground beneath you has crumbled. The immediate devastation might seem all-consuming, but what many fail to realize is that the fallout is not solely your responsibility to pick up. While you are left to rebuild, the narcissist too must face the wreckage they've left behind, though it's unlikely they'll acknowledge it. Have you ever been left feeling utterly shattered when someone whose world revolves entirely around themselves casts you aside, seemingly without a second thought? You are far from alone in this painful experience. On our platform, we invite you to explore this complex emotional terrain as we navigate the aftermath of a relationship with a narcissistic individual. Together, we will delve into the profound emotional toll their departure can exact, both on you and, though it might be hard to believe, on them as well. So, what truly happens when a narcissist leaves your life? For them, it often begins with a firm and unshakable belief that there is always something better waiting just around the corner. They convince themselves that leaving you behind will usher in a new chapter, one that is far brighter and more fulfilling than anything they experienced with you. To them, your presence becomes insignificant, their interest in you waning, as they eagerly shift their focus elsewhere, certain that life will improve without your influence. The ease with which they seem to move on is startling. While you may have poured your love, time, and energy into the relationship, for the narcissist, it was never about mutual investment. They feel a sense of entitlement that allows them to discard you without hesitation, undervaluing everything you brought to the table. The arrival of a new admirer might only serve to affirm their distorted sense of worth. In the aftermath, you might find yourself reeling from the emotional devastation of having been reduced to something disposable. But it is essential to understand that the narcissist's departure is often driven by their own insecurities and an insatiable need for validation. While they may seem unscathed, their journey is far from smooth. The truth is, no matter how much they convince themselves that life will be better without you, they remain trapped in their own toxic patterns of self-delusion. They may move on quickly, but that doesn't mean they're unscathed. In fact, the fallout can sometimes be even more devastating for them, as they must face the consequences of their need for constant admiration and control. Ultimately, the narcissist's departure is a bitter reminder of the unequal dynamic that defined the relationship. While you may struggle to find closure, the narcissist's inner turmoil will likely remain hidden beneath a veneer of confidence and self-assurance. But rest assured, the emotional damage they leave behind is just as real for them as it is for you, even if they refuse to acknowledge it. Let's pause and reflect on the profound lessons we can draw from life's adversities. The outcomes we face are not random. They are often direct reflections of our own actions and contributions. Life is an ever-evolving journey, a continuous cycle of learning, growth, and transformation, one that takes us through both moments of triumph and times of hardship. In this ongoing trajectory, it's essential to understand that, despite our imperfections, every step we take shapes who we are and who we are becoming. For some individuals, the consequences of their actions become a perpetual loop, one driven by narcissism. These individuals, trapped in their own egos, sow seeds of negativity and chaos wherever they go, unknowingly triggering a karmic cycle. Their actions create ripples of harm, and instead of introspecting or seeking to evolve, they only continue down their destructive path. Those who resist self-reflection and the opportunity to change will inevitably find themselves facing the repercussions of their choices. At the heart of this cycle lies a profound truth: ignoring others is not a new or isolated habit. It's a repetitive pattern that only deepens their wounds. These individuals have hurt others before, leaving behind a trail of anger and resentment, and quickly moving on without any real accountability. Interestingly, they appear indifferent to the consequences of their actions, even when it leads to their own downfall, like being fired from a job or losing valuable relationships. But why does this cycle persist? What keeps them from breaking free? The answer lies in how they interact with those around them. When they encounter someone new, especially someone who could potentially challenge their toxic behavior, they are presented with a chance for change. You, in that moment, represented an opportunity to break the destructive cycle. But instead of embracing this chance for growth, they choose to remain entrenched in their old ways. They belittle your worth, tarnish your reputation, manipulate your emotions, and continue down the same unhealthy path. Strangely, it seems to bring them a sense of satisfaction, as though this pattern is what they've grown accustomed to. The aftermath of a breakup can have far-reaching consequences that are often not immediately apparent. What you do in the wake of that separation ripples through the lives of everyone involved, and the cycle of negativity it creates can feel never-ending. The truth is, the effects of such actions always catch up with us in the end, though the full weight of them may not be understood right away. The one who initiates the breakup may not realize it yet, but their choices will eventually lead to regret and emotional pain. These consequences might not be visible today, but time has a way of revealing the impact of those decisions. It's important to understand that for a narcissist, ending a relationship often causes them profound inner conflict. On the surface, it may seem like they are unaffected, as though they are moving on effortlessly, but deep down, they are struggling. They may convince themselves that cutting ties will bring them happiness, but this belief is fleeting. Every day they are confronted by memories of you, subtle reminders of your presence that seem to follow them everywhere they go. Despite their efforts to appear indifferent, regret is slowly eating away at them. Behind their facade, they are hurting more than they let on. There will be moments when they attempt to reconcile, to fix what they've broken, but they will never possess the strength or emotional depth that you carry. You, the one who truly felt, are always the stronger of the two. Perhaps they were searching for something better, something that they thought would surpass what they had with you, but in reality, they will soon realize that you were a monumental step up from anything they had before. I'm not talking about superficial qualities like looks or material possessions. What truly sets you apart is your soul, your spirit. It is your love, your compassion, and your kindness that they will miss the most. These are the things that will haunt them long after the relationship is over, and the absence of these qualities only magnifies their pain. If you want to understand more about the complicated emotions that arise after a breakup, especially with someone who has narcissistic tendencies, I highly recommend watching my film, The Journey of the Narcissist. It's not just a reflection on typical breakups, it's an exploration of how to navigate the emotional labyrinth when you've been in a relationship with someone who is emotionally complex. The movie delves deeply into themes of regret, sorrow, and self-awareness. Initially, the narcissist may not think they've lost anything important, but as time passes, the realization will hit them like a wave. The knowledge that they once had someone who loved them unconditionally, no matter their flaws, will keep them up at night, caught in a restless tide of regret. Through a series of fleeting, shallow relationships, the narcissist slowly begins to confront a harsh reality. None of these connections can replace the depth of the one they once had with you. Despite their attempts to rationalize their situation, they are left grappling with this painful truth. They turn to their circle of admirers for reassurance, seeking validation to mask the growing sorrow that lingers beneath the surface. It's a fragile front, one that fails to conceal the deep regret they feel. Over time, as they attempt to rewrite the narrative of their life, they subtly change, though the transformation is neither quick nor dramatic. The people who once fueled their ego now serve as uncomfortable reminders of their past mistakes. This internal conflict only intensifies the discomfort, forcing them to confront the painful reality that their life has been lived in the wrong direction. This realization strikes at the heart of their self-centered worldview and challenges the very foundation of their identity. It's a bitter revelation, one that no amount of external approval can erase. After the breakup, the narcissist begins to lose their once unshakable confidence. Memories of you linger in their mind, haunting them in unexpected moments. It's as if the weight of karma has finally come to bear on their life, and its effects unfold slowly, almost imperceptibly. Karma, like an elusive force, has a way of working in mysterious ways, concealing the true extent of its power. Through my own journey of introspection and growth, I've uncovered hidden truths about the human condition. While some individuals may seem to hold power over us, it's essential not to fall prey to their fabricated suffering. Instead, life gently nudges us towards self-renewal by revealing the turmoil that brews within their hearts. For many years, I couldn't fully articulate my experiences, held back by the weight of my own emotional pain. During that tumultuous period, I wrestled with trauma, desire, anger, and a lingering bitterness. It felt as if my world was spinning out of control. But through it all, there was a quiet strength guiding me, an inner resolve that refused to break. In retrospect, I now understand myself and the world with greater clarity. To truly grasp the depth of the narcissist's suffering, one must look beyond the surface and into the heart of their inner turmoil. When they choose to let you go, it marks the beginning of a journey filled with emotional conflict and profound mental anguish. Imagine a place where they aren't surrounded by your soothing presence and have to find their way through a maze of deep pain. If you think about it for a moment, you might be able to see signs of their pain. This is something I've noticed, and maybe you have too, seeing the pain they're going through when things go wrong. It is very important to take care of your mental health. It's normal to feel sorry for other people and carry some of their problems, but it's just as important to put your own growth and resiliency first. Every contact with a difficult person helps you grow as a person. Instead of giving in to their negativity, use it to fuel your own growth. Don't forget that you have the power to turn hardship into strength, which makes you different from narcissists. Meeting the deepest parts of someone who is unhappy, like a narcissist, can be a deep and enlightening journey. Even when we were caught in the maze of these kinds of relationships, where their false love had us, we added our own colors to the fabric of life. They will look for another soul like ours, but never really find it. Comfort is something that dawns on us like the first light of dawn. This fact keeps playing over and over as a constant reminder of what they lost, a weight they carry every day. While people rarely show regret or understanding because they are ignorant or afraid to admit it, saying sorry can feel like crossing a chasm of doubt, especially when it means admitting fault and possibly causing more pain. There's a worry that accepting fault could make things worse, keeping us in a state of fear and stopping progress. It's like the fear of making things worse in a bad situation, which would stop us from moving toward peace. Some people find the strength to say they're sorry and ask for forgiveness, but I often tell them to be careful about how quickly they accept their punishment. It may seem good to try to fix a broken relationship, but it's important to know if it really helps people heal or just brings up old wounds. As you embark on this journey of self-discovery and transformation, I want you to stand firm in your newfound resolve. You are no longer merely healing from past wounds, you are actively reinventing yourself. This journey isn't just about finding peace, it's about empowering yourself to become a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. During this process, you will uncover countless opportunities to grow, to embrace the winds of fortune, and to allow change to flow through your life in ways you never thought possible. I sincerely hope that as you navigate this path, blessings will find their way to you, whether they come from the universe, a higher power, or from the depths of your own being. No matter what life has thrown at you so far, this moment is about renewal and strength. While I cannot predict the future or change the forces that shape it, know that my support is unwavering. I stand beside you in spirit, wishing you nothing but the best as you continue your journey. The bond we share, built on the shared weight of our struggles and triumphs, has a profound ability to heal and uplift. And even when confronted by those who have wronged us, there are always small signs of growth that reveal the depth of our inner strength. Your efforts are not only seen, they are valued, and I will continue to support you. Now, let's shift focus for a moment. A warm welcome to all those who might find themselves drawn into this conversation. The narcissists, the ones who love to stir chaos and harm, are always among us, and it is only fitting that we address them. This channel thrives on the richness of its community, and without your participation, it wouldn't be as lively or meaningful. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on the latest content. I am truly grateful for your presence here today. The subject of today's discussion is one that many of us are unfortunately all too familiar with: narcissism. This exploration is aimed at shedding light on how narcissists manipulate and control others for their own gain. But more importantly, we're here to talk about how you can handle these situations with not only strength but grace. This conversation will take us deep into the heart of our emotions, confronting them head-on in order to understand how to move forward. If you're ready for a complete understanding, I invite you to stay with us until the end. Let's face a painful reality together: narcissists thrive on making others feel small, insignificant, or worthless. They feed off the suffering of others, and sadly, this is still the case for many of us. If you've already been hurt, they are still out there, searching for ways to deepen that wound. No matter how much damage they've inflicted on you, no matter the lies they've told, or the pain they've caused, it's never enough for them. They need to see that their actions have left a permanent scar on your mind and spirit. It's in their nature to drag you down into the same darkness that consumes them. They do not care about your healing or growth. What excites them is watching you hold on to bitterness, to anger, to hurt. Anger, particularly the kind born from repeated mistreatment, is a natural response to the betrayal and injustice of narcissistic abuse. It's easy to feel this rage bubbling up inside you, and I often refer to it as bitter indignation. It's a normal and understandable reaction when you've been wronged, over and over again. But here's the key to freedom. The first step is recognizing this anger. Acknowledge it, understand where it comes from, and begin to see it for what it is. When you think about the narcissist in your life, pay close attention to your emotional response. As long as that feeling of distress lingers, the anger will continue to grow. The question now is how to deal with it. Identifying the problem is just the beginning. The real work begins when we start searching for solutions, when we start taking steps to heal. One powerful tool in this healing process is talking about what you've experienced. Sharing your story, whether with a trusted friend, a professional, or someone who truly understands, can be an incredibly cathartic experience. It allows you to release some of the weight you've been carrying, and often it accelerates the healing process. But be mindful of who you share it with. Make sure that the person you confide in is either knowledgeable about narcissistic abuse, or at least willing to listen with empathy and an open heart. It's only in this safe, compassionate space that healing can begin. In our journey towards healing, it's crucial not to overlook the importance of nurturing both our mental and spiritual health. We often focus on physical well-being, but emotional health is just as vital. It's easy to forget how much the toxic people and negative influences around us can affect our peace of mind. While we commonly talk about eliminating narcissists from our lives, it's equally important to consider other sources of stress that might lurk in our surroundings. These forces can gradually drain our energy, so being mindful of them is the first step in safeguarding our emotional stability. Avoiding these stresses before they manifest can help protect your inner calm. One of the most essential actions in this process is deciding what truly brings you happiness. This could mean limiting interactions with narcissists or even severing ties entirely. Over time, you'll notice that as you focus on your own growth, these toxic people will lose their significance. It's a process of reclaiming your energy and putting your own well-being first, which ultimately leads to a more peaceful, fulfilling life. To escape the grip of narcissists, it's important to silence their influence over your thoughts and actions. You must choose to prioritize your own recovery, which involves a conscious decision to stop reacting to their manipulative tactics. Forgiveness is not about excusing their behavior, it's about freeing yourself from the burden of negativity. When you let go of the hurt and focus instead on your own healing journey, you take away the power they once had over you. The more you commit to this mindset, the more you break their patterns of control, moving closer to emotional freedom. In those quiet moments, take the time to put your mental health first. These periods of stillness will empower you, making you stronger and more resilient with each passing day. Narcissists thrive on provoking reactions. They feed off of emotional chaos, but the true power lies in your silence. By withholding your emotional responses, you stop fueling their need for attention and control. Let your actions, your growth, your success, your inner peace speak for themselves. These are the tools that will help you not only deal with narcissists but rise above them. Ultimately, personal growth, staying calm, and maintaining your mental health are the most effective ways to navigate the challenges posed by narcissistic individuals. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to share your own experiences or thoughts on this topic, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and share this message if you found it helpful, and share your stories in the comments below. Wishing you a peaceful and empowering week ahead. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation.